I actually agree with what Sierra was saying. I don't think that the list should be ripped up. However, I think the focus of the list needs to be different. I think the list needs to be more substantive as opposed to superficial. I think a lot of times the lists are superficial things that really are not going to maintain a relationship, but more so along the lines of just like your preference. And I think a lot of, especially women, focus on those things like, oh, I want him to make this amount of money. I want him to be this height. I want him, all of those things. Those things are not going to build a relationship. And any of those things can change. Um, so I think if the focus is on things like character or acceptance or push me to be better, things like that. I think that are those are things that you need to include. I remember I told my daughter to actually write a list of the things that she would want in a mate. So when she comes into contact with a person, that she needs to go down that list and check it off. Like, is he caring? Is he, a hard worker? Does he? And if those things don't line up based on what she says she want, then she needs to keep it pushing. Because women have a tendency, if it's some one thing that they see, like, oh my God, I'm so attracted to, that whole list go out the window. And so I actually encourage her to write the list and let that be something tangible that she can refer to, instead of focusing on the feelings, to focus on the facts of what she said she was looking for.
All right, Trev Smooth, we think about this list, brother.
Yeah, so Sierra used an awesome word. It was awareness, right? And I feel like that's something that most people don't have. So we go ahead and comprise this list, but we don't have any realistic way of obtaining it, right? Because we don't qualify for people who have those attributes. And that's the biggest problem that most of us have. So, first of all, like Marcus referred to, you have to build yourself up, right? Because if you don't have the worth for somebody who has all of these qualities, they're not going to want to deal with you in the first place. And that's the major problem. You don't even understand where you stand in the marketplace. And I do believe there is a marketplace. It's just a matter of people not understanding where their place is in the marketplace, right? So if you would be considered a 5 to a man, you might think you a 10. And women especially will support each other and say, hey, yeah, you a 10. Yeah, you a 10. You a 10. And I'm like, how? So if you think you're a 10, you're going to try to demand a 10, but you're not aware enough to know that you're not a 10. You're really a 4 or a 5. And you're searching for these 10s, and you wonder why you can get with these 10s and they'll smash you and go away. And you can't keep them because you can't keep their interest, because you don't really offer anything that they find valuable, right? And a lot of people think that men just really want to play around, right? We don't really want to just play around. We just want to play around with you, because that's all that we see value in, right? Nothing else. You don't have any other attributes that would attract a man, right? And vice versa. And secondly, people go in for these superficial lists, like Mistaken said, right? So there's a lot of dudes who will get with a chick, try to stay with her just because she got a fatty, or she got the wop or whatever, right? And we'll go ahead and disregard the fact that she's crazy. We'll disregard the fact that she's disrespectful. We'll disregard the fact that she has no tact, right? Could barely speak English, and that's her native language. And that's a problem. We'll go ahead and follow these women to wherever just based on some McLovin, and that's not going to work. Females do the same thing too. If a dude is sitting there laying pipe like a plumber, then a lot of times they'll go ahead and throw everything else out the window. They don't care. Well, he cool. I like him though. I just really like him. And they have this list, and then they don't even care about the list. They completely disregard and go ahead with your Pookie, your Ray Ray, just because he's laying pipe like a plumber. I'll leave it there.
All right, go ahead, Casey.
Man, I have so many thoughts on this subject. This stuff has been really hot the past couple of weeks on social media. I'll first say this. I feel that people make lists and have no idea that it really takes you getting to know someone to even discover those things about them. So a lot of people will make a list on something that they think they might see in a first or second date, where it's something that is going to have to be discovered over time, and that you'll see a little bit deeply down the road within a relationship. So I think I agree with Real Precious, more than anybody, and Marcus, because it's kind of like, what exactly are you looking for? These things that it shouldn't be more than about 5 to 7 things, like Precious said. All this extra stuff, all this superficial stuff, materialistic stuff. People change, people grow, people evolve. That's a part of being in a relationship with somebody. You're really going to challenge each other in ways that you don't even realize, and you grow and mature together in a relationship together. So the list stuff is just, it's not my thing.
All right. Go ahead, Mr. Lego.
This list is actually reasons why y'all asses need therapy. See, if we turn around and just look at this list from an inverted way, we are only entertaining, because we attract everybody, right? But we're only entertaining our mirror images of ourselves, just in the opposite sex, right? So we actually made a list of things that we have to fix about ourselves, and actually went and got therapy and fixed those things, there wouldn't even be a list, because you just are out here in the world and you have requirements and standards instead of a damn list of shit that you most likely ain't going to get anyway, because your ass need therapy and you ain't fixed nothing in yourself. So if we focus on the list about of the things that we need to work on ourselves, we wouldn't have a list at all, because that's the biggest problem. All these dysfunctional, angry, stupid ass people, male and female, running around trying to get something that they don't deserve. That's why they're making a list, because they think they deserve something that they ain't did for themselves.
Wow. Go ahead, Paradise.
You must got something against me, JR, because why I'm last. I'm just playing.
I just wanted to put like the people that was a little bit long-winded on the back end on this one.
Excuse me.
Wow. Shots
That's
fired.
all right. That's all right. That's why I got my own platform. I can talk as long as I want. But, no. List, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think a list is necessary at all. I think unanimously and universally, the things that women and men want are very simple. And we've said it, it's been regurgitated time and time again. It don't need repeating. We provide all of these qualifications for the people that we are interested in without ever seeing if we meet their standards. And we don't even try to work to meet their standards or mirror them until it shows and reflects the negative traits, until we're seeing the bad things in them and we're operating in toxicity because we're conditioned to it. That seems to be the only time we get along well with operating amongst other people. But chemistry is something you cannot find writing it down. You cannot manifest chemistry. You can't pray for chemistry. It's organic. It happens. And as much as we would love to just have this list that we write down and we're like, I'm gonna say these words and I'm gonna chant it and they're just gonna come to me. Realistically speaking, nobody will check off all of your boxes. People are human, and you have to be willing to grow and evolve with them throughout every phase of life. Endurance is what makes relationships standing the test of time throughout the hard trials, tribulations, up and downs. And the first thing people hear is struggle love, struggle love, struggle love. It has nothing to do with struggle love. If this is a person you genuinely want to be with, if this is a person that you genuinely feel like is your partner and they reflect you and they bring out the best version of who you are, you don't need no list for that, because everything else will fall in line. The respect, the love, the adoration, everything else will come to you. I think more so than anything, people should focus on being the best version of themselves so they can stop attracting the most terrible character traits that they're used to.
Okay.